I'm here to interview Ivana Corpus on her leadership journey. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Who were you as a leader at the beginning of the applied major coursework?
So when I started here at the organizational leadership program, I was very new to what leadership actually was. Up until that point in my professional career, in my academic career, as a student, as a child, and in any leadership position I had ever had in school activities, I was very managerial. So I was a list person. I knew how to manage tasks and how to tell people what to do. I wasn't really aware of how much deeper leadership actually is. So I had a very base knowledge of leadership. I knew I had the qualities. I knew that that I'm a good communicator. I knew that I could be motivating to people, that I could persuade people to do things. And I knew that I just had the personality where in any project at school or any project at work that I would be the one who would be selected to do the leadership position. And so there was kind of a little bit of I wouldn't say arrogance, I'd say confidence in that I knew, oh yeah, I could be a leader. But in reality, I didn't know much except for surface level leadership theory. So that's kind of how I was coming into the program. When I saw that was something that I could graduate in, I was like, oh wow, this should be a piece of cake. But again, I was just scratching the surface of leadership in general.
Okay. What did you learn as you were completing each class?
So, with my base level of knowledge of leadership theories, I first started with my first class, Issues in Organizational Leadership, and what that class taught me, my biggest takeaway from there was different organizations. So I learned about different types of organizations, profit, nonprofit, spiritual organizations, that kind of thing, and how each different organization works best under a specific type of leadership. That and also just how many different types of leadership there were, so that I could self-evaluate on what my leadership style was at the beginning of the coursework, and look and see for myself what my goals were, where I wanted to be at the end of it all, upon graduating, how I wanted to develop myself as a leader. So that was kind of my intro to leadership in that course. And I learned that there's different leadership theories, different styles, that kind of thing. So on to the next course, which was data-driven decision-making, both 1 and 2. There I learned more of the business side, the numbers side of business. And initially, it was pretty intimidating for me because I knew that it would deal a lot with numbers, deal a lot with information, and I'm a very I'm a very emotionally intuitive person. So logistics and hard data, that kind of stuff, I didn't really know what to do with it. So whenever those courses came about, we learned the analytical sense of business. And like I said, initially it was pretty intimidating, but once the course actually unfolded, I was able to learn, supply chain. I was able to learn inventory. I was able to learn how to present information, prevent sales records, present data from the company or from the organization to an executive board, to persuade, to either make changes or to develop an organizational change, a plan, that kind of thing. So that was really cool because I kind of just dove into an area, I guess, of learning that I wasn't really comfortable with. And had I not had to have taken a course like that, I probably wouldn't have chosen to. So it was great to develop that side of me, to make those skills a part of my leadership presentation for myself personally. So that was great, learning that in the data-driven decision making. Next, I had the behavior, ethics, and leadership course, which kind of went on to the different aspects of leadership that I was really looking forward to. Things such as team building and conflict negotiation, dealing with different personalities in the workplace, learning how to be civil, learning how to promote teamwork and how to promote everybody working for the organizational goal. Learning as a leader how to take the goals of my team, of them as individuals, and working that into our organizational goals as well. Helping to kind of gauge based off of a person's personality where I could best fit them in the team, and where they would best thrive. So after that, we did the leadership theory, which kind of for me went back to the basics. So there we learned the planning, the organizational, the dealing with the tasks that typically a leader does. Here I really learned what the difference was between being just a manager and being an actual leader. Not to say that managers are bad or that managers have a negative connotation, but basically just learning that there's a time and place for management, and then there's a time and place for leadership, and that leadership is just a way of life. It's a way of who you are as a professional in your organization, and that was really monumental for me because it helped me mold my own leadership style. I took a look at servant leadership. I took a look at comparing that, which is kind of the optimal style of leadership, comparing that to everything I had learned or known, I guess, up until that point. We talk a lot in the program about leaders that have affected us personally. And for me, I've had several teachers, I've had several professors, I've had, to answer to several different people throughout my lifetime. But to be honest, there was never really a leader in my life that was a servant leader who led by example, who rolled up their sleeves and got down on the project with me, whether it was in my personal life or whether it was in school or professional life. So I didn't really have a model for that. So coming into the program and learning about that, and then discovering like, oh, I could do that too. I can apply these concepts and become that leader, and as that type of leader, be successful in pretty much any organization that I could possibly be in. So that's what I learned there. And leading change helped me to, okay, so now I have my own personal leadership style. Now, what do I do with it? How do I strategize change? How do I take an organization from where they are and move them to the next level, either the next level of business, the next level of sales, opening the next agency, hiring the next superstar salesperson? How do I implement these concepts that I'm learning and at the same time, make something my own, or implement a new idea, or a new process, that type of thing. So in that class, we did a change management plan, which I did over the organization that I was working for at the time. And so it was great to participate in a project that would allow me to use my personal level, my personal skills, and apply it to something that I was actually doing at the time for pay. So it helped me to really kind of just put myself in that position, as if I was the leader of the organization that I was doing. So there we did I did a mock change. So I did an implementation of new strategies, a new business model, and it helped me really see and really put myself in that position. So it was great to have that project be an application of my skills. Then from there, we did the capstone courses, which capstone 1 and capstone 2 helped me to accumulate all the skills and every assignment that I've ever done in the organizational leadership program, tie it together, and apply all those concepts and theories that I've been learning to make one big project that I can take and put on a professional portfolio that I can use in my next career and in my next interview, my resume, that sort of thing. So that's what I've learned in my coursework as of now.
Okay. Describe yourself as a leader today.
So today I am much more calculated. I'm much more careful on my decisions as a person, as a leader, and as a student as well. So I don't really know what other word I would use other than maybe impulsive is how I would probably describe myself at the beginning of all of this coursework. I take a lot more time to make decisions now, important decisions both in my professional and in my personal life. And I am able to now look at an issue from all angles. So who they affect and how they affect me and other people and other things. What potential events could arise out of the decisions that I'm making. The different strategies that I can take to act out a decision and that sort of thing. So I'm able to have different perspectives, a development that comes with both maturity over the year and just being able to apply these things that I'm learning in my coursework to everything in my life. So that's one of the biggest takeaways that I've had from this program is that I feel much more confident in my leadership, whereas in the beginning, I just knew that I could talk for a long time, that I was friendly, and that I could get people to trust me and usually persuade people to do things. But now I feel like I actually have a qualification about me that I can use in my future and in my skills in my career and in my skills in ministry and in my own personal life as well. So that's where I am now.
Okay. Where do you go from here, and what do you need to do to continue your leadership journey?
From here, I continue learning. The buck doesn't stop here, to quote a cliche. I take all these skills and all of these theories that I've learned and all these concepts that I've worked on, and I apply them to real life. So from here, my next step is to dive headfirst and get into a career that I feel that I can excel at, that I feel that I would do well at, and that I feel I can use to develop my leadership skills and to develop a team as well and contribute to an organization. In order to do that, I'm going to definitely be seeking the help and the wisdom of mentors around me in both my academic life and in my professional life as well, and really just taking the time to slow down and observe their leadership styles, observe the strategies that they're implementing in their businesses, asking a bunch of questions. Why did you make this decision? How did you make this decision? What factors, factored into you making this decision? And have you ever made this decision before? And really just, now that I have the base background knowledge of how leadership works and how business works, now I can use that knowledge to continue to learn and continue to ask questions that are relevant to those concepts and philosophies in real life. So it's a very exciting time for me. The most important thing is for me to not just think, I'm graduating, so that's where learning stops, when this is really just the beginning of me and my own personal development as a person. And so, what do I need to do to continue my leadership journey is just waking up every day and understanding that there's still lots of things left to learn.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for interviewing me. Bye.